It's kind of funny that, you heard my last video about just wanting to stop boxing and just staying away from boxing in general as a whole. No more than maybe 7 minutes, I get a knock on my door and I get these. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe Allah is sending me a sign that I just got to stay 10 toes down and make the marathon continue. Because number one, I didn't ask for them. And number two, shout out to the coach in Philadelphia who sent them to me. So these are what we call the Everlast Power Lock, but these are the second edition of the Everlast Power Lock. I have the first Power Lock, and if you go through my channel, in my previous videos, I had a review about the Power Locks and, how I felt about them and what have you. And these ones, I can say that I'm looking forward to breaking them in. The thing is that the first Power Locks were kind of bulky, right? These second ones are kind of better. As a matter of fact, these are a size 14 ounces, and they kind of don't even look like 14 ounces. And when you put them on, it doesn't even look like a 14 ounce. It looks like maybe you're wearing like 10. Yeah, you see, it doesn't even look that big. Because what I wanted some 16 ounces. I had some 16 ounces in mind, and I said, okay, well, I'll just get some winning 16s, right? Because there's something that says the heavier the glove you train in when you're fighting, with the smaller gloves, your hands are going to be flying even faster. You know what I mean? But the main difference I see between these and the first Power Locks is that these ones actually have, I guess you could say, a crevice right here to secure your wrist more. Because the one thing about the other ones is it was kind of like flappy. You could kind of move your wrist around a lot. This one has more wrist protection, because when you're throwing a punch and whatnot, sometimes, you may be in a situation where you may throw a punch incorrectly. And because you do throw a punch incorrectly, it could like damage your wrist, So it's very important for you to have a good glove and a good solid glove to avoid that from happening. And it looks like these have that. It looks like these actually cover that. Now, the one thing I will say is that he knows, I guess he knows that, like, since being African, we like colors. So one thing that like stood out to me is like the teal color. You know what I mean? I've never seen Everlast put out some teal colors. I'm pretty sure that Everlast has a lot of different things. As I said in previous videos, I'm a big fan of Everlast, right? Numero uno for me is winning, but inshallah, as I progress and continue, it's gonna get to grants, because grants, I think, are the best things you can buy. Grants are the best gloves I think you can have, period. And so it would be a very, very great privilege to actually own some grants, right? And actually fight in some grants, right? Because those are, I think, the most high quality gloves you can get. So inshallah, down the line, we'll have a review on some grants on this channel. Hopefully by the luck of by the grace and the favor of Allah and my hard work and me staying down, that they will become available. But the thing is that separates these from also the first power lock is the simple fact that it actually has, I want to say, more, how should I put it? It's actually where the glove, where your knuckles are, I should say. Basically, it'll just literally kind of feel like, it'll literally kind of feel like a pillow where your knuckles are. You know what I mean? The first power lock, which was different. It kind of had not that. I guess you could say it didn't have that in the knuckle area. You know what I mean? Also, a different thing about these gloves is that where you tie the gloves, it's easier now. You know what I mean? You don't have to go through. You don't have to really go through that hassle of having to tie your gloves, because I'm gonna tell you something. It is a hassle sometimes when you're always like, "Hey, can you tie my gloves? Hey, can you tie my gloves?" I mean, you really don't have to deal with that. If you want to, I'm not recommending it because you want to protect your risk. You definitely want to protect your risk and everything in it. But I mean, if you're just doing some light work on the bag or something like that, you necessarily don't have to tie these because they're already kind of they're already kind of I should say already kind of tied up. Now, you can also, I say, like, stick the laces in if you want. But this is just, I only recommend this if you're just doing light work, okay? If you're by yourself or something like that. But if you're doing some heavy work, obviously you're gonna want to tie it up. But I think the difference is that you don't have to worry about tying it up with in essence, you maybe have to only tie it around like one time or something like that, whereas some gloves, the laces are longer, right? And the thing to tie it is not like that. So in essence, if I were to give a score of these, I would say these gloves are very solid. And so I would say maybe, yeah, a 4, right? If you're doing training. And also, I'm pretty sure you can spar in these. You can get some rounds in these things, right? But these are definitely going to be good for bag work, for sure. And also, I want to say that I know this is gonna be corny. I'm not trying to be like a motivational speaker or anything like that, but we have a couple of sayings that align with like the marathon mentality. One of the sayings that we have in my country, we say "Al luta continua," and that just means like the struggle continues, the fight continues, right? And so if you're like seeing what's going on in boxing and stuff like that, and you're disenfranchised and not satisfied with it, just keep on going and just stay 10 toes down and just, take the lumps on the chin. We took the lumps on the chin today with Mr. Valdez's antics and his permission to continue those antics come September 10th. But we just got to stay down, and inshallah, justice will prevail at the end, right? But anyhow, man, Go get these Power Locks tools. I recommend them. And I mean, honestly, they're they're reasonably priced considering they're a boxing glove. Because here's the thing, you have to make sure you're getting real gloves. The gloves that you see at sporting goods stores are not real gloves, okay? The gloves that you see at Big Five, the gloves that you see at Dick's Sporting Goods, the gloves that you see at these different sporting stores, right? They're not the real thing, okay? You got to make sure you go to a specialty shop that has those gloves to get the real thing, okay? You're going to feel the difference between those gloves and the real thing, okay? And the real thing is reasonably priced for some boxing gloves, so you'll have no problem in picking these up. But anyhow, on to the next one. Fuller signing out. Njadama.